Three challenges. Nick Gonzalez will lead it off, singled his first time up. First pitch on the way, and the fastball's down low for ball one, 1-0. It's my pleasure to welcome Rob Friend, the Executive Director, Minnesota Wastewise Foundation, on our Minnesota Compost Day, as the 1-0 and the breaking ball down and away. All right, first tell everyone, Rob, who Minnesota Wastewise is and what you guys do.
Thank you for having me. This is a honest-to-goodness bucket list moment, so I appreciate it. Foundation is a nonprofit affiliate program of the Minnesota Chamber. We work with businesses to reduce their energy use and waste use. And a big part of our work is in the Biz Recycling program, which covers Ramsey and Washington County, has helped out CHS Stadium to help it become the greenest stadium.
3-0 pitch rather is inside ball four, so there's the first walk issued by Aaron Sanchez. So the leadoff man is aboard, and that'll bring up Cannon Smith and Jigba, who reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. Saints have been a big part of the Biz Recycling Minnesota Wastewise family since the ballpark opened in 2015, trying to make sure that you're as close to zero waste as possible. So tell our audience, as a fastball on the outside corner, maybe a thing or two to remember about recycling and composting. What would you tell folks?
I would tell people that if you put it in the recycling bin, it's going to get recycled. And about 90% of the material collected here actually is processed here in the state. And the stuff that isn't is just going in, staying in the Midwest. It just goes out to our neighboring states. Plus, recycling and organics composting creates 77,000 jobs in Minnesota.
So recycling and composting stays here. We can send our trash to other states. Is that what you're telling me?
That's exactly right.
This one has popped up on the left side. This will get out of play. You know, the big thing, because they reinforce this with us as well. So if you're a business out there listening, saying, you know, do I really want to do this? Should I or shouldn't I? You save a lot of money on the tax bill at the end of the year in terms of putting your recycling. As a runner goes, pitches ground to the right side towards the hole. To his left is Julian. He smothers it, throws to first as Gonzalez goes to second, and that'll bring up Andy Rodriguez. But you save money on the back end if you do this the proper way, right? Correct.
Your waste is taxed. It's taxed by the state. It's taxed by the county that you live in. If you're a business in Ramsey County, you're paying 70% tax. Your recycling and your organics is not taxed. And that's a big cost savings for people.
I think everybody, I shouldn't say everyone, I think most people understand the concept of recycling, right? I mean, we've gotten to that point where recycling's been hammered home, it seems like, for, you know, a decade or two now. But composting is fairly new. This is something that maybe a lot of people don't know about. Talk about the difference between what it means to recycle and what it means to compost, as that one misses outside 2-0.
So composting is just taking your food scraps and taking your compostable products and your non-recyclable paper, so your napkins. Can't recycle a napkin, but you can compost it. So you take those products and you collect them, and they stay in the metro to a commercial composting site, and they're mixed with leaves and grass.
This is one shot foul left side into the stands. 2 balls and 1 strike.
So they're mixed with the leaves and grass, and 9 to 12 months later you have compost. And that compost then can be purchased by the general public and used for a soil amendment.
2 balls and 1 strike, the count on Andy Rodriguez. Flew out to left his first time up. Tied at 1. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. Pitch on the way, and the fastball misses inside. They're going to challenge this one. So we'll get our first challenge of the day. You can sit here and watch what a challenge looks like around you. You'll see it on your screen as well, as it was Tony Walters who asked for the challenge, and you can see Walters and Rodriguez smiling at each other, both catchers. And that pitch is going to be just out of the strike zone there, just about a maybe inch above that strike zone. So the Saints will lose the challenge. They'll have 2 left, and the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike on Andy Rodriguez. Aaron Sanchez sets. Long look in, now a look back at second. He's going to drain that clock in the 3-1. Missed outside ball 4, so 2 walks in the inning will bring up Ryan Valade. All right, I want to ask you about composting. So all this stuff, you take these things, the food scraps, the napkins, turns into compost. What you guys are giving away at the ball game after the game, folks leaving or can grab composting. I don't know much about anything, So tell people, when you get the compost, what can I use that for? Are there specific uses? I mean, am I just putting it like my garden? Is that where it's going?
Yep, that's the ideal thing to do with it. Put it in your flower beds or your garden, mix it in with your existing soil, and it makes your soil better. It is rich with nutrients. Compost holds 5 times its weight in water, so it reduces the amount of water you have to use as well. Because of the nutrients, it reduces the amount of fertilizers you need to use. So it just makes your soil healthier.
So if you put your plants in there, just better for the plants to grow, is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Will they
correct.
grow taller? Because if I put myself in compost, I'm 5'5". Will I all of a sudden become like 5'8"? Because I'd like for that to happen.
If that happens, I'm doing it also.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I may try that after the game here today, as Valade fouls it off in the count, no balls and 1 strike. It's tough. We can all agree that there's so many things in this world that you might not know what goes where, and it can be very confusing. We've done all our part around here. Is this one grounded towards the middle? Julian knocks it down on the backhand, picks it up, fires to first in the dirt, and it's kicked away. Williams will pick it up, but by the time he does, a run will score to make it 2-1. I'm going to guess base hit and error that allows the run to score here. But we'll wait and see. Julian knocked this down. And then his throw to first that bounced and got away that allowed the runners to advance, I'm going to bet will be an error on that. It has to be. There's no other way they would have advanced. I think he's going to beat that out anyways. That's a base hit. And then once the ball skips away, then the runners advance. So we'll go hit and error. So E4. And here comes Cal Mitchell, who takes upstairs. I was about to ask you, so there are a lot of things out there. What are some of the products that people just get wrong, that they think are recycling isn't, or they think is composting isn't, or they think is trash and isn't, which is the biggest thing? As this one skied in the air towards right center field. Contreras and Garlic. It'll be Contreras under it. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Rodriguez. The throw will be offline. The run will score. Down to second wisely goes Valade to make it 3-1. Tell everyone some of the things people get wrong.
So I will tell you, the phrase that we always tell people: when in doubt, throw it out. So if you are not sure where it should go, put it in the trash. It's better to have clean recycling and get 1 or 2 things wrong. But the thing in recycling that people get wrong the most is plastic bags. Whether they put all their recycling in plastic bags and put the plastic bag in their cart, that won't be recycled then. When it goes through the recycling facility, they just pull the bags off because they think they're trash. They don't have time to empty them. So that's always the biggest thing. And plastic shopping bags are recyclable if you take them to a proper place. So take them to a Cub, a Target, where they have the bins. They are collected, they are sent, they're made into decking, they're made into furniture, they're made into clothes, all kinds of different things. And on the organic side, it's the compostable products. Everything that needs to be BPI certified, it's biodegradable does not mean it's compostable. Biodegradable just means it breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces.
Let me ask you this. If I pull something that I'm going to throw away, and on the back it's got that little symbol showing recycling, does that automatically mean it's recyclable? I can throw it in the recycling?
Nope. That is the most confusing thing because they use the symbol, the recycling symbol. It's 1, 2s, and 5s.
Those are the recyclables. So
yep, the number
1, 2, or 5.
Yep, the number indicates what the material is the plastic material that they made the product. So if it's a 1, a 2, or a 5, that is recyclable forever. Everything else is trash.
Interesting.
And always put your caps on your bottles.
3 balls and 1 strike to count on Mark Mathias. Saints down 3-1. And this one fouled off right side, out of play. So why are they able to just put that little recycling symbol on it if it's not recyclable? I feel like that's a little deceiving for the rest of this world.
It is a manufacturing thing, yes. They did it 20, 30 years ago, maybe more, and it was at the time though we were trying to take 1 through 7, so it didn't matter. So they needed a way to indicate what the material was. So when they sorted it at the recycling facility, they then knew what kind of bucket to put it in. So
3-2, runner goes, pitches Scott in the air to center field. Backing up on it is Mark Contreras. He'll come in, make the catch, and the half inning. All right, before we let you get out of here, tell everyone how they can find out more information if they want to know about recycling, composting, and all that.
I would tell you to look at Google Biz Recycling or Minnesota Wastewise, and we can help you with anything you need.
There it is, Rob Friend, Executive Director, Minnesota Wastewise Foundation. We're both going to jump in some compost, see if we can grow. We go to the bottom of the third. Saints trail it 3-1. You're tuned into Saints Baseball on the Saints Broadcast Network and the Valley Live app.